Hello and welcome to Sports World Have Your Say, the show where football fans all over the world decide what to talk about. Reds ahead as Manchester United roll over Aston Villa. Is Roberto right?
This title is finished, unfortunately.
You really mean that?
Yeah.
Back in the clubhouse, Carlos hits a par 3, but has everyone forgiven him?
No, we never had a problem with him. Obviously had some problems and some difficulties with the club.
And as Liverpool remember the people who lost their lives at Hillsborough, we reflect on how one comedian felt the full force of Anfield anger. And Italian football mourns the death of 25-year-old Piermario Morosini, who died playing for Livino yesterday. We're on Twitter. You can join the conversation. Hashtag SWHYS. Loads of you getting in touch with us already. If you've got a point to make, we've got the place to make it. And also, you can get in touch with us at Sports World Have Your Say. All the details on the right of the screen. And as I just said, via Facebook or Twitter. Loads of you giving us a tweet. And also, you can call us 0044 2070 837333. Please give us a tweet. Also joining us this week, Eniola Aluko from Birmingham City. Good evening to you. I'll speak to you in a moment or two. But first, let's get the latest summary of the news. Hello and good evening. Eniola, you've been playing today. Who were you playing? What was the score? What was it all about?
Yeah, I've had a game, semi-final of the FA Cup against Bristol. We won 4-1. And are now in the FA Cup final, which is pretty special for me. I mean, after being away 3 years in America, coming back and now getting to an FA Cup final after winning the FA Cup with Charlton just before I left, is fantastic, really. So I'm really pleased.
Excellent. Did you score today?
I didn't know. I didn't have the best of games, actually. I couldn't really get into the game, played on the right. Just couldn't get into the game and then came off with a slight niggle in my knee. So, but you know, the team won in the end, and hopefully I can have a better performance in the final. That's
the most important thing. But my research tells me you did score in the FA Cup final, though.
I did, yeah. When we won it with Charlton in 2005, I scored the winning goal. So. Hopefully I'll be able to do that again in this year's final.
Well, it certainly tops anything I've done. Lost 2 finals. Anyway, no, you've got a winner's medal, I've got 2 losers. Anyway, we've got lots to talk about. Chip in when you're ready. I want to go to Shivam, who's watching the big game at Wembley at the moment. Shivam, what is the score?
It's 1-0 to Chelsea.
1-0 to Chelsea. And the goal scorer must be Didier Drogba?
Yeah, Drogba. It was a typical Drogba goal. Just overpowered Gallas and just shot it past Cudicini in the Tottenham net.
Went into the top corner?
Yeah, top corner, near post.
This is a huge week for Chelsea. I would say it's the most important 4 days of the season. Semi-final today, and then obviously at the Bridge, Barcelona. Has Di Matteo tweaked the side? You know, is anyone playing who you didn't think would be playing?
Torres is not playing. I think he'll play against Barcelona. And obviously Ivanovic is suspended, and but I think that everyone else will play against Barcelona is playing today.
Yeah. Eniola?
Shaban, you made that Drogba goal sound very simple. It was actually a fantastic goal. He's sort of got it, spun Gallas, and then just, you know, Cudicini had no chance. I mean, everyone talks about Drogba sort of being at the end of his peak, really, but he always comes out with goals like that, and you think, wow, he's back again. But it looks like it's going to be a good game. I've actually got it on to the right of me, so I'll try not to be too distracted.
Yeah, he was born to play at Wembley.
Say that again?
He was born to play at Wembley.
Yes.
That's a very good comment. Can I just say to you as well, were you happy with the kick-off time? It's a peculiar time, isn't it? The players are used to kicking off at 4 o'clock because of the live games, 12 o'clock, but 6 o'clock was an awkward time.
Yeah, it's a stupid decision by the FA. I mean, they should have put Liverpool's match to a midweek, or the most sensible option is not play either of the FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley.
Are you a fan of that? Because I have to say, I've played there a few times. I think most clubs, or as many clubs as possible, should get the Wembley experience. But a lot of people, especially in the UK, do not like the semi-finals being at Wembley. What do you say about that, Shivam?
Yeah, I would say I would agree with them. I mean, it's a dream to play at Wembley, and Wembley should only be for final. I mean, semi-final can be played anywhere around England. I mean, you have the Cardiff Stadium. I don't know what that's being used for anymore for football. So I mean, you could.
Well, you're thinking it would have been ideal sense for Everton, Liverpool to be at maybe Old Trafford yesterday, and then for Chelsea and Spurs to maybe be at the Emirates. I mean, but don't forget the stadium costs so much money. They've got to repay it somehow, and so all the semi-finals will be contracted. What's your view on that, Eniola? Are you a fan of playing the semis at Wembley?
No, I agree. I think the finals should be kept for Wembley, and semi-finals in other big grounds around the country. I'm not really sure why they changed it. I think it just takes the gloss off the big day, really, having the semi-final at Wembley. But, you know, ultimately they're still great games and we all watch. So, you know.
Big occasions.
Exactly.
Shavam, anything happening at the moment? How long to go to half-time?
No, it's second half has started.
Yeah, I'm in this country. You're in Dubai, aren't you?
Yeah.
How long to go?
I think the second half just kicked off, and I don't know what just happened, because it's just they're not showing the scoreboard anymore.
Okay, now what's the score? Has there been a goal?
1-0. No, I think it's still 1-0 to Chelsea.
Oh, I'm told. Eniola, can you see difference? I'm told.
No, it's actually 2-0 to Chelsea now.
2-0. Shavam, is there a
2-0.
delay there in Dubai?
Yeah. I don't know who scored though, but it's 2-0 Chelsea now.
I don't know if it crossed the line.
Did
it
it
was
cross the
another
line?
incident of not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're not too sure if it crossed the
appears
line. It counts anyway. It's 2-0, isn't it? Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's 2-0.
This is going to be tough for Tottenham to come back on this one, I think. But hopefully, if Bale maybe puts a goal in, then it'll be an interesting game.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Chelsea are heading to the FA Cup final, and they'll be playing Liverpool if they get there. Antoine, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Big Liverpool fan?
Oh, yes.
Empire of the Cop, is that you?
That is me, yes.
We've had a bit of correspondence on Twitter, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
We certainly have. You happy with yesterday's performance?
Yes, I was very happy, obviously, with the result, especially the last-minute goal. Nothing beats that.
Andy Carroll, obviously, I mean, in this country, I mean, people have been mocking him and mocking the fee, saying that Kenny got it wrong. I mean, he's come up trumps, hasn't he? He's a winner at Blackburn, winner in the semi-final against Everton.
Yeah, and he's still very young. I mean, Andy is still 21, so he's got some good years ahead of him.
Yeah.
So,
Brett, you're in Cape Town. You're a Liverpool fan.
Yes, and that's
you happy as well?
Yeah, it was brilliant yesterday. Brilliant performance.
Do you know what I would say to both of you? Are you happy with Liverpool's form in the league?
Well, it's been not at all. 8th position in the league, below Everton, is not acceptable for Liverpool. But the 2 cup runs have been very good, and they have been
made up for the poor performance in the league. Antoine, can I ask you as well? Because obviously we saw Kamoli leaving this week, which was a bizarre move to me. You know, he only bought the players that Kenny wanted, but he paid the price. Can you explain to me, as a Liverpool fan, are you happy with Kenny and what he's doing?
Yes, I'm happy with Kenny. I believe this is, again, a personal opinion of mine. I believe that one of the reasons Kamoli was let go was because the price he paid for those players was too high. Yeah. Kenny wanted the players, and Kamoli negotiated the deals, and I don't think we got good deals with them as far as the price paid. We did reduce the wage bill by bringing in these players. However, the price paid is really, really steep. As far as Kenny is concerned, yes, I'm very happy with Kenny. Remember, it's his first season. It seems like modern-day football, people seem to be more impatient than they used to be, and he should be given at least another season to prove these skeptics wrong.
But some of the signings just haven't worked, Antoine, have they? You know, Adam, you'd have to say, hasn't really worked, has he? I mean, obviously, Lucas Leiva's been injured this season. It would have been interesting who he would have played in the centre of the park had he been fit.
He was actually, before Lucas got injured, Charlie Adam and him had played a few games together, and they were starting to gel. So you don't know what would have happened with that partnership there.
Well, you would have had to make a space
So
for
personally,
Steven Gerrard. You would have had to make you had to make a space for Steven Gerrard, surely.
Probably, yeah, probably. It's gonna be it's hard to tell though, you know, because it seems like the season, besides obviously we haven't played really good football in the league. I must admit that, but we've been plagued with injuries and we were unlucky too. I mean, look how many times we've hit the post.
Yeah, but what
did happen?
Okay, so here's the scenario. Sorry, Eniola. Would you prefer to win the Carling Cup and the FA Cup, or qualify in 4th place for the Champions League?
Let's put it this way: when you win a cup, it stays in your trophy room forever. You qualify you finish 4th or higher. It only lasts 1 season. Now, the upside to that is that people say, hey, but you can sign better players because better players will want to play for you because you're in the Champions League. However, in order to sign better players, you got to pay for them, and you got to pay those high salaries, which I don't know if we're in a position to do that.
Antoine, just a point on just a question on what you mentioned. Why do you think it is that Liverpool do seem to do so well in cup competitions, but just always seem to disappoint when it comes to the league? Why do you think that is?
Are you specifically referring to the season? Because last season was terrible in the cup. So I mean, we got
well, I mean, generally speaking, Liverpool have always been very successful in cup competitions. I mean, we all, whether you're a Liverpool fan or not, we all celebrate sort of the comeback of winning the Champions League. But it just, in terms of the league form, sometimes it just doesn't seem to happen. Why do you think Liverpool seem to be the club to beat in cup competitions, but not so much in the league?
I think we need more depth in our squad. That's one of the reasons. But funny enough, going back to the 80s, I remember when Liverpool would win the league every other year. My friends who are Manchester United fans would mock me because Liverpool were never winning the FA Cup. You know, under Bob Paisley, we didn't win the FA Cup. We won the FA Cup when Kenny came on board. Then, so it's a phase, I would say, and I'm sure that in the next. In the next few years, we'll be able to win the league and get back there. So we just need more depth. We need more players. We need to sign more players who are. You see, the problem with the league is you play so many games that you need those players who can play maybe 15, 16 games and are happy with that.
Who would you like to see signed? Would you more forwards, more strikers, more midfielders? I mean, Carroll and Suarez did very well yesterday, but you know, I think there might be more strength and depth up front. What would you like to see?
Yeah, definitely up front, and we might need somebody else in the middle of the park too. But yeah, definitely up front, even on the wings. We brought in Stuart Downing, however, there's still some questions. So we definitely need we need strength up front. In the back, I'm not very concerned. When our players, we've got some good defenders. They're doing very well. We've had some injury issues there. However, we've got some great players coming up. I mean, Flanagan and Robinson. So I'm not too concerned about the back at all.
OK, thank you, Antoine, for that. We'll be chatting a bit more about Liverpool in the second half. Stay with us here on Sports World. Have your say. Eniola, just reading about Kelly Smith and what she was saying, what annoys her most about the diving in the Premier League. Is it a problem in the women's game?
I wouldn't say it's a problem, but it happens. I mean, my previous coaches have always said to me, you know, when you get in the box and someone touches you, go down. Now, is that cheating, or is that just, you know, just knowing what to do in the right positions? You know, I've had this conversation many a time. what is essentially quote unquote cheating in the game? You know, is it anything against the rules? Because in that case, every offside would be cheating, or you know, every time you don't kick the ball out when an opponent goes down. But you know, diving's not nice to see because it doesn't look good, does it?
Thank you for that, Eniola. But let's chat again in a moment or two. Can I just see what's going on with the FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Spurs? Shavam, what's the score? What's going on?
It's 2-1. Gareth Bale has just scored, and David Luiz is injured.
Bale's just scored, and
David Luiz is injured.
David Luiz is injured. Okay, so it's 2-1. How long to go?
About half an hour.
About half an hour, plenty of time for Tottenham to come back into this. They've having a bit of a dip. Eniola have it, their season's kind of started really well, came out the blocks up firing all cylinders. All of a sudden they just had a little dip with the Harry trial and the Harry sort of England manager thing. Do you think they can turn this around?
I think they can. I mean, I love watching Tottenham. Tottenham, just their style of play, the players that they have, they always look dangerous. But you know, everyone's saying that, you know, is it because Harry's been linked so strongly to the England job that now, you know, the team are distracted? It seems to be ever since he's been so strongly linked that the team's form have dipped. You know, has that had an impact? I don't know. But I think Tottenham are always a team that can look to get goals and come back, as it looks like they're doing in the Chelsea game.
Okay. Well, all this week, leading up to this week, today marks the 23rd anniversary of the Hillsborough disaster, where 96 Liverpool fans lost their lives in the FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Now, Alan Davies, a comedian who's a big Arsenal fan, has made the headlines this week, and with his comments about Liverpool Football Club and the dates which they won't play on. I mean, this is the part where Alan Davies says in his weekly podcast what his views on what he thought.
My mum died on August the 22nd. I don't stay in all day on August the 22nd. Right?
Yep.
It's a significant date in my life.
Yeah.
But if Arsenal are playing at home, I'm happy about it. Do they play on the date of the Heysel Stadium disaster? How many dates do they not play on?
Is that?
Do Man United play on the date of Munich? Do Rangers play on the date when all their fans died in that disaster, whatever year that was, 1971?
Well, that's what Alan Davies had to say on the podcast. Can I ask you, Antoine, obviously a big Liverpool fan, what are your views on his comments?
I think it's very disrespectful, very, very insensitive of the families. You know, all tragedies are different, and I don't think anyone has the right to tell the families on how to grieve their loss and how to remember their loved ones.
Okay. Brett?
Yes.
Your view on his comments?
I thought his comments were totally out of line and disgusting. He said it in such a comedic tone that it was just disrespectful to the families of the people that suffered. And even though he apologized afterwards, he still posted pictures on Twitter to show that, like, to mock the Liverpool fashion in the 80s, and it just contradicted his apology. So I don't accept his apology, and I don't think Liverpool Football Club should accept his apology.
Eniola?
Oh, I totally agree. I think it's just an insensitive thing to say. I think, Anton, you made a great point by saying that all tragedies are different, and you know, whether someone wants to go to a football game on a day or not, it is up to them. And I think I think he needs to respect that, and respect the fact that Hillsborough is a very sort of sentimental, important day for all Liverpool fans. And you know, if they don't want to play on that day, then that's their prerogative. But I think it's just a matter of respect, really, that he probably shouldn't have said that, or shouldn't have said that, not probably.
Do you think he was trying to diffuse the situation, Antoine, with the kind of the mocking up with the calm down sort of tash and everything?
Well, he did make a donation to the Hillsborough, to the HJC, but they refused it because it wasn't genuine. It wasn't a genuine apology what he did. I don't think he's even repented yet.
Okay, we've put this question out on our Facebook page, and Ewan in London posted it on ours. It was a terrible tragedy, but it was 23 years ago. No other club required fixtures to be moved. Example, Manchester United, Bradford City, Rangers, Juventus. I think it's a liberty. All other clubs must abide by the FA rules except Liverpool. Why?
Well, that is wrong. As I said, you know, these families. This is how Liverpool remembers these 96, and obviously the families. I don't know if anyone watched the memorial today, but it's been held for the last 23 years, where all the Liverpool players, current and former Liverpool players, joined together with the Liverpool fans. I mean, you had the whole Kop stand full today of Liverpool fans who went to pay their respect, and this is how it's been done for the last 23 years.
Can I ask you, Antoine, do you think there will come a time when Liverpool will say, yes, we will play on the 15th?
I don't think so. It is Hillsborough has become part of Liverpool FC. I mean, we have the Hillsborough Flames on our badge. You'll Never Walk Alone was put on the badge after Hillsborough, if you recall. So it is part of that. And these families are still waiting justice. You know, justice was never done for these people. So not only were they denied, not only did they lose their loved ones, they were denied justice. And now someone is saying, well, maybe you shouldn't have your memorial on that day. You know, definitely not right.
Can I just say, Eniola, to Brett, Alan Davies, I'm sure there are a lot of people who agree with what he says, that there are other teams who've had disasters who play on those dates or whatever. Was he being disrespectful, or was he giving a point of view?
I think he was giving a point of view, but it was in such a comedic way, in a joking tone. It came out as disrespectful.
Eniola?
Yes?
Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I actually didn't hear what the guy just said. Sorry.
No problem, because obviously today at the ceremony, Margaret Aspinall, now she's chair of the Hillsborough Family Support Group, and she said at today's memorial service that because when comments like that offend and hurt so many thousands of people, it's quite obvious he has got nothing else to worry about in his life, as we have had for the last 23 years.
Well, I think that, you know, obviously it's an inflammatory comment to make, and it's gonna upset some people. Is it a point of view that he's entitled to? Probably yes, but I think as a public figure he should probably be aware of how that could inflame emotions, and it's a very sensitive thing. What I was going to ask Antoine is you know, is it becoming a more political issue now than an issue of sentiment and sort of memory? Because you know, there are other teams that play on the days of quite emotional days. So why is it that Liverpool choose to make that decision?
Well, I mean, those teams, I don't think they had memorials on the actual date. It's not like, I don't think anyone has asked them to change the date of the memorial. So, I mean, if they had memorials on that date, then I think it would be wrong for anyone to tell them to change it. You know, after all, it's only a game. You know, this is more important than football.
No, absolutely. Absolutely agree.
OK, well, we're going to be talking about a lot more stuff in the second half. Suarez and Carroll as well scoring the goals. The FA Cup semi-finals taking place at Wembley as we speak. It's Chelsea 2, Spurs 1. Drogba and Mata for Chelsea. Gareth Bale replying for Spurs. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. It's the FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Spurs at Wembley. It was 2-1. Shivam, is it still 2-1? Shivam, it was 2-1. Is it still 2-1? Oh, I'm not sure, Shivam. Eniola, I think you can see the screen at the side of you.
Yes, it's 2-1 to Chelsea. Bale got a Tottenham goal. I did call it, by the way. I did say Bale.
You called it when? I've been here sitting here for half an hour. I didn't hear you say they're going to score.
Beginning of the show, when the guy from Dubai came on, I said if Bale scores, Tottenham will be back in this game, and that's exactly what he's done. So hopefully, I'm hoping that Tottenham equalise, so it'll go to extra time.
OK, Samuel's joining us now, who's he's in Germany, who's a big Chelsea fan. What I want to say as well, Antoine, is, you know, obviously the great cute British banter on the terraces, the fans and everything. Obviously, Alan Davies upset a lot of Liverpool fans with what he said about Liverpool not wanting to play on the 15th. And it makes me wonder, when obviously the Liverpool fans sing to the Manchester United fans about Munich, where do we draw the line? What's acceptable, what's not acceptable? I mean, that isn't banter, is it? And I would say that Liverpool are not the only set of fans who sing that to Manchester United. So do Leeds, and Manchester United sing something about the fans who died in Galatasaray. But we're talking about being offended. You know, that is offensive.
Yes, and I think they should crack down on those kind of chants. Just today, from what I understand, I missed the first part of the Chelsea-Tottenham game, but some fans were actually disrespecting the minute silence too. So it happens with all tragedies, and it's unfortunate. I think they really should crack down on that.
Samuel, what's your point on that? Samuel,
come again?
Can you hear me? Yeah, just the banter between the fans. Well, the banter, the singing of songs about the Munich air disaster, the fans who died at Galatasaray, Manchester United fans, Leeds fans, Liverpool fans, all fans singing all those type of songs to each other.
I regard those things as just a word of mouth. It constitutes no offense. I mean, they should hold nobody liable to such issues. All this surmount is just like a part and parcel of the game. You understand me? They are saying if it's just singing, it's okay. But if actions take place afterwards, then it's fair. But it's just singing, it makes no difference. These are events that are shown already for past issues. You understand what I'm saying?
Eniola?
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing about these things is that you can only sort of deal with it after it's already happened.
But it's been happening for years, Eniola, hasn't it? The fans are singing it and nothing seems to be being done.
Exactly.
And don't forget that the Munich air disaster is the equivalent to Manchester United fans as Hillsborough is to Liverpool, so it is important to them. It's
very important, and I don't think it should be in the game. I think that anything, racist chants about you know, fans dying, it's just insensitive. But unfortunately, you can't gag people when they come into stadiums. So how do you deal with it once it's already happened? You know, is it that you fine clubs heavily if it has happened? I don't know, but some way or another it needs to be prevented, because otherwise people just keep getting offended and you know, fans will just think it's okay to keep chanting. Yeah, I think it comes under the ban of unacceptable chanting. Yeah. Samuel, I think you'll be pleased to know that Chelsea are now 3-1 up in the semi-final against Spurs. Looks like you're heading to back to Wembley to play against Liverpool in the final. Yeah, that's good. It sounds good. At least they are living up to what they should be like. It's been a disappointing period, and I feel sometimes not so interested in discussing with Chelsea, because they've been a great letdown all this season. Well, Ramirez got the goal. Big week for you, obviously, with Barcelona, but wouldn't you rather be at the top of the Premier League than in the FA Cup semi-final? Yeah, every team will definitely want to win the Premier League, but we can't get that now. I mean, we started very late. We had so many problems, so many administrative problems on the players out and too. And so I think if we can get the FA Cup, at least it's better than nothing. OK, well, let's go back to Shivam, who's in Dubai, who's watching the FA Cup semi-final for us. Shivam, talk us through the Ramirez goal.
Yeah, he just chipped it over on-rushing Cudicini, and it's 3-1. And the Spurs were dominating before the goal, but now I think it seems Chelsea are going through.
Is it all over? 3-1?
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you, nobody could have predicted a 3-1 scoreline. I thought both games were going to be tight, decided by one goal, but it's been emphatic by the looks of it, Eniola.
Well, in fact, I mean, Tottenham. If Tottenham score another goal, it could get. You never know with the FA Cup semi-finals. You just never know. If Tottenham pull one back, they could go to extra time. And Tottenham have been known to do that, of course. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, as it stands now, as a Chelsea fan, I'd be confident that they're going through.
OK, let's talk top of the Premier League then. Obviously, big win for Manchester United today, putting the 5-point gap between those and Manchester City. Roberto Mancini was saying, oh, it's all over, we can't do it. Antoine, is there any way back for Man City?
Oh, I'd love for them to.
Of course you would.
But unfortunately, it's difficult. I mean, they have to. I believe they still have to play United, don't they? Or no? No, they've played them already. My bad. So yeah, I mean, I can't see United losing 2 games or dropping 5 points. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
It's difficult over 4 games, isn't it? But you know, there was a goal today, Wayne Rooney, the opening goal, which was a penalty, and it was Ashley Young who went down in the penalty area. And I have to say, Twitter went absolutely mad. Former England striker Gary Lineker tweeted, "I've just witnessed Young challenge. He was touched, but his theatrical reaction could be the springboard for a bad reputation." Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but Ashley Young's got 8 penalties, I think, this season, twice as much as any other player. So, Eniola, did you see it?
I didn't see it, no, but I've certainly seen all the comments on Twitter, and you know, it's two consecutive weeks now he's been responsible for allegedly diving and getting a penalty, and it just Ashley Young doesn't seem like that kind of player, but. Obviously.
Eniola, don't be so naive. Of course he's that kind of player.
What I mean by that,
he's got a nice face and he looks like he wouldn't dive. I'll come back to you in a minute. I think there's been another goal in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Shivam's in Dubai. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Frank Lampard free kick, beaten on Cudicini's side. Cudicini should have done better, but now it seems Chelsea are going through to the final.
4-1 for Chelsea. Has Cudicini been to blame for just that one goal?
Yeah, I would say probably the first one as well. I mean, he shouldn't be beaten as near post.
Probably the first one.
Shot was powerful.
I saw that first one, the Drogba goal.
Yeah, I mean,
I think two goalkeepers wouldn't have saved that.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it's a near
harsh.
post. Goalkeepers.
Shivam, please. I mean, I don't think it's to blame for the first one. So, how long to go in that game now?
Less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes. I think that's all over. Yes, top of the table. Antoine. How do you see it going now? Just Manchester United all the way through?
Yes, I against my heart, I have to admit that. Yeah, I think they'll win. They'll win the league. How
do you think the top 4 is going to pan out, though? Eniola?
Well, I think for 3rd and 4th, Arsenal. I think Arsenal are in very good form at the moment, and well, Chelsea or Tottenham. Tottenham don't look like they're in very good form in the league. Chelsea look in better form since Di Matteo's taken over, so I'd say probably Chelsea for 4th place. Well,
I'm telling you now, anyone from Newcastle will have something to say about that, because Newcastle are coming up hard on the rails.
Well, Newcastle are in it as well, but I do think Chelsea's experience of being in the top 4, they will push for it.
OK, lots more football chat. Please stay with us here on Sports World. Have your say. Welcome back. We're getting lots of tweets in about the goal that wasn't. Tom in Hall, Chelsea's 2nd goal. How on earth can you give that? Absolutely ridiculous. Clearly not a goal. Well, I'm sure the scoreline says 4-1. It was. Michael, Manchester United fan?
Yes.
Good evening. Where are you, Canada?
Yep.
Must be delighted at how it's going today, how it's going, the season's going in general.
Pretty content the way it is. It's a little closer than I was hoping it to be, especially after the result we had on Wednesday. But carrying on, I think I'm pretty happy with the way it's going.
Could you ever see a point where Sir Alex Ferguson would say, we're out of it, that's it, title's going there, or do they just keep battling on? Roberto Mancini seems like he's thrown the towel in.
I think he might just be saying that to maybe boost a little too much confidence in Man United. I think our side is a little too smart. We know that it's not over. We know that Man City still has a really good chance.
Okay.
Ball's in our hand.
Roberto Mancini was speaking after the game. Let's just hear what he had to say.
It's finished. This title is finished, unfortunately.
You really mean that?
Yeah.
I can't persuade you to say otherwise.
No, I think this.
So when you see them playing football like that, though, at the end of the season, what if you think the title has gone? What then is the aim for the next 4 games?
No. For this, it's important that we continue to play like today, like against West Bromwich. Only this is our target.
Eniola, what would you say if you're manager? If you're a Man City player and you're watching that TV there, and you say, our manager's thrown the towel in there?
I don't think we should all sort of. I think we should take that comment with a pinch of salt. I think Mancini might have said that tactically, really, to take the pressure off Man City, because it does look like Manchester United have won it. But you know, as a player, I'd try and take it with a pinch of salt. And as he said, the aim still is to win the 4 games, and you never know what's going to happen. Manchester United might lose the last 2. Who thought Manchester United would lose against Wigan the other day? So you know, it's still you know, there's still a lot of football to be played.
4 games it's a short period, but Michael, you have to say Man City played ever so well. They played with a real freedom, didn't they, at Norwich?
They did. It's they've still got all the talent in the world to do so well. They're going to do it. They're going to push us to that match against them in a couple of weeks, and that could be the deciding factor come that day.
Okay, can I just say to you as well, obviously the Man City, Carlos Tevez was a Manchester United player, but he never behaved as he's behaved for Manchester City. Do you think Alex Ferguson was right to get rid of him when he did?
With the young talent we had coming in, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Hernandez's progress has been halted a little bit this season, hasn't it? I thought he would have come through a bit more.
Agree. We also, I mean, with what we've got coming in, you've got the luxury of having him there, and if he doesn't get the opportunity, he won't be able to flourish even more.
Eniola, you know, you look at the Tevez situation. Now, imagine you're a Man City player. He goes down to Argentina for 5 months to play golf and then comes back. How would you think he would be received in your changing room?
Not well. I think that a lot of players, particularly players who are on the fringe, who sort of are in and out, I think it would boil their blood if Tevez came straight back and went straight into the team. That obviously didn't happen. But I think generally, you know, you see sort of the annoyance sometimes in the players when they're talking about Balotelli or they're talking about Tevez. You see that they're sort of they don't want to say too many good things. They're not going to say anything bad, but they don't really want to say too many good things. So
yeah.
I think generally, you know, it's just not. It doesn't look good in terms of the team spirit. But I think the main thing is the players will just get on with it, and they'll expect Tevez. They would have expected Tevez to just show what he can do on the pitch and show that he's sorry by scoring a lot of goals, really, and that's what he's done. So.
Well, that's what he did yesterday. He scored 3 goals, didn't he? His Manchester City teammate Nigel de Jong spoke about Tevez after the game.
No, we never had a problem with him. Obviously had some problems and some difficulties with the club, but that is his own private thing. As soon as he came back from Argentina and he came training back with us, which is one of the guys again. So until he's a Manchester City player, he's still a great asset for this club.
Michael, do you think Carlos Tevez going to Argentina for 5 months has cost them the title, or do you think they've run out of steam?
Yeah, I think it did cost them the title. He's a tremendous star. He could have helped them throughout the season when they started to falter a little bit.
Yeah.
I think looking back now on the season, Manchester City's season, you are going to point at the fact that Balotelli misbehaves. and the fact that Tevez was away for so long, and it's easy to say that that would have affected their title chances. I just wanted to ask Michael, actually, obviously this season's not finished, but for next season, what do you think can add to Manchester United's, what players can be added to Manchester United's team to sort of fend off Manchester City's challenge for the title again?
Not too sure. I think we've got a strong club as it is right now. We were shocked to see Scholes come back this year, and he's literally uplifted us to the end of this season where we are. I don't think we'd be in the position we are without him. I don't know if we need to make any massive adjustments to what we've got.
I'd like to welcome Jacob to the conversation. You're in Poland, Jacob. Good evening, and you're a West Ham fan. Carlos Tevez, giving it all the Hammers sign, all that lot. You never had a problem with him at West Ham, did you?
Yeah, that's true. He's very interesting persona, but sometimes I think some kind of madness is going into him, and he can't really make some bad influence on other teammates.
Well, what about the Hammers? I mean, I've been following their progress. They're in the top two for 24, 30 games, and all of a sudden, when it counts, they drop out the automatic places. Fantastic result yesterday. Can they grab that second place?
Yeah, I'm sure they will grab the second place, because at the moment Vaste, he's crazy. He's playing the best. He's having the great performance of the team, and I think he will be the leader, and we will reach the second place. And I hope that Southampton will stay for the playoffs, and we'll change with the Southampton place.
Now, would you have Carlos Tevez back? If so, why?
I don't know, because what I saw is happened to Man City with the Tevez. It's hard to trust him again. He's a former captain. The whole team was built around him for a while, and then the guy who should be a leader, he almost disappeared. So it's really difficult to trust him again. And I think that for his teammates, it's hard to see that after a while he's back and he's going to first squad. But he played a really great game, but still I think he made a big chaos in the changing room before, and that's the reason why I won't like to see him again in West Ham.
OK, well, the score in the semi-final of the FA Cup is still 4-1 to Chelsea.
No, it's actually 5-1.
Excuse me.
Malouda's just scored.
Well, I tell a lie. Who just scored there, Ellie?
Malouda just slotted one away. My prediction was hopelessly bad. My last prediction that Tottenham would come back. It's
5-1. It reminds me, was it Stoke City who beat who was that? Bolton 5-1, something like that.
Yeah.
5-0, something like that. Anyway, Francis Lee, the former legend at Manchester City, he's been tweeting today, and he said, "Reds and plebs, give it a rest, will you? Tevez, the Tevez chat, he's our player. He's going some way to repairing the damage he's done, just as Rooney had to do with Manchester United Football Club." Quite right. Michael, remember that one, when Rooney looked like he was going to go?
He was, yeah. It was, and especially the talk was him going across over to City. It's was a little nerve-wracking hearing that.
Ellie, Rooney, remember the time when he was going to leave? It's all hunky-dory now, isn't it? They're still cheering.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rooney was ever going to leave, but I think it was a sort of ploy to let the club know that, look, I want more, and I want more players to sign. But everyone quickly forgets when players start banging the goals in. And that's really what they need to do to sort of prove their worth.
Antoine, can I just ask you that, do you see a time when Liverpool will seriously challenge the likes of Manchester United now and Man City? Oh, Michael.
Yes, we will. Give us a few more years. We have great owners, and they've shown that they could do it. They're doing the right things, so I have faith in them, and I have faith in our manager. We'll be back.
OK. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll finish today with a quick word with Daniele Torelli. Now, he was present at yesterday's match between Livigno and Pescara, where very tragically Piermario Morosini was collapsed and died, suffering from a heart attack. Daniel, good evening.
Yes, hello.
Yes, it was very tragic. I mean, it's hit football very hard all over the world, I would say. They've seen comments and tweets on Twitter. You were at the game. What did you see?
Yes, I was watching Pescara attacking, and I didn't see the Livorno player fall down. So I immediately realized it was something serious, because all the players were around him, both the Pescara and the Livorno players. And the Pescara physiotherapist tried to give him a heart massage. Also, I never forget one of the Pescara players, Verratti. He ran from the ambulance to the pitch with a stretcher. He is very young, only 18. He was clearly shaken by what happened.
Yeah, we're just seeing pictures here now, and it's, obviously with the Fabrice Mwamba situation a few weeks ago, it's all very fresh in our memories. And I'm sure that everybody from the UK will obviously send their commiserations to Piermario Morosini's family. OK, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you to all my guests. It's been a lot of good banter. Thank you, Eleona, and good luck in the FA Cup final.
Thank you,
That's
Mark.
all from me. See you soon.